Owl, I think I'm a hopeless case. I have 50 interests, but I'm not truly an expert in any of them. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, a failure in every area. I just can't pick a lane.
You're using that quote wrong, Hoodie. The full quote is, "A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one."
What? There's a second part?
Oh yes, your shame is the result of an outdated system. You're not a dilettante. You are unconsciously building a cognitive architecture that will make you invincible. Welcome to the M-shaped future. The specialization trap. Kind versus wicked environments. To understand why you feel so torn, we first have to dismantle the big lie of the modern working world. You've been taught that specialization is the only path to success. The last century idolized the specialist. Why? Because the world back then was a kind learning environment, a benign learning environment. Think of a chessboard or a golf course. The rules are rigid, feedback is instant, and whoever practices the same swing for 10,000 hours becomes a master. This is the world of the I-shaped person, an expert with a single deep pillar of knowledge. But here is the uncomfortable truth. We no longer live on a chessboard. The modern world is a wicked learning environment, a malicious learning environment. The rules change constantly, feedback is delayed or misleading, and specialists often have massive blind spots. If your niche is devalued by AI or a market crash, your only pillar collapses. Your curiosity, therefore, is not a career risk. It is your biological survival strategy in an unpredictable environment. Oh, wait, you might say now. Does that mean my curiosity is a problem? Let me show you why that's not true. The dash-shaped problem. The problem isn't your curiosity, but the shape of your knowledge. Many scanners fall into the trap of the dash-shaped mind. A dash is a horizontal line. You know a mile wide about everything, but are only an inch deep everywhere. This creates that gnawing anxiety of being an imposter because you have no solid ground to stand on. You are addicted to so-called possibility dopamine. Your brain doesn't love the hobby itself, but the new identity that comes with it. When you start coding, you imagine being a Silicon Valley genius. When you buy a guitar, you're already on a world tour in your head. This imagination releases dopamine, but as soon as the hard work begins and the novelty fades, dopamine levels drop, and your brain chases the next possibility. You keep starting over from zero. The solution? The M-shaped strategy. The way out of this vicious cycle is the M-shaped professional. An M-shaped mind doesn't just have one pillar of knowledge, but 2 or 3 deep pillars connected by a horizontal bridge of general knowledge. Imagine your first pillar is graphic design. That pays your rent. Your second pillar, however, is behavioral psychology. Suddenly, you are no longer just an exchangeable designer, you are the specialist for conversion optimization who understands why people click. This combination is extremely rare and makes you priceless on the market. But why are these combinations so powerful? Innovation through synthesis. The magic word is far transfer. A pure specialist, an I-shaped mind, uses near transfer. They apply known solutions to very similar problems. An M-shaped mind, however, can transfer concepts from completely unrelated fields. That's called far transfer. You are like the web developer who used to be a beekeeper. They don't just write code. They understand organic systems, swarm intelligence, and growth cycles in a way that a pure computer scientist would never grasp. Innovation today almost always happens at the interfaces where 2 worlds collide that previously had nothing to do with each other. Now it gets really crazy. You won't believe what elephants have to do with your apparent chaos of interests. The elephant hack. Redundancy. A fascinating analogy from evolutionary biology comes into play here. Redundancy. Did you know that elephants almost never get cancer? That's because they have massive genetic redundancy. They have dozens of copies of the same cancer-fighting gene. If one copy mutates or fails, the others take over. Your seemingly chaotic interests are your professional redundancy. If you are a pure software engineer and an AI takes your job, you're finished. But if you are an engineer who also understands electrical engineering, can fix HVAC motors, and speaks Japanese fluently, you are unbreakable. You've built a safety net of skills, ensuring you always have a pivot ready. But how do you create your personal redundancy without burning out? The solution is amateurism. Serial mastery. Scanners often fail because they try to build 5 pillars simultaneously. That is cognitive suicide. You must think of your life in seasons. In one season, which could be 6 to 18 months, you build Pillar A. You dive deep until you've reached the 80% mark of mastery, where the benefit per hour invested is highest. When your curiosity is satisfied, you don't quit, you strategically close the chapter and move to the next pillar. You don't throw the knowledge away, you park it in your foundation. You won't believe it, but a great thinker of our time developed his vast range of knowledge in exactly this way. The Einstein strategy. A crucial tool on this path is the Einstein strategy, or the good enough job. Albert Einstein worked for years at the patent office. It wasn't a job that challenged him intellectually to 110%, but it was stable and gave him the mental freedom to decode the universe at night. Your main job doesn't have to be your most burning passion. It can be the strategic asset that finances and protects your other pillars. It takes off the pressure to immediately make money with every new hobby. There is even a very simple way to tame the chaos in your head. The external brain. Since your scanner brain is a high-output idea factory, you cannot rely on your memory. Your brain is a workbench, not a warehouse. You need an external system, a card index box, or a second brain. If you are fascinated by medieval architecture for a week, write down your insights and then let the obsession go. 2 years from now, on a completely different project, you will find those notes and connect the dots. You might feel like a dilettante because you aren't the best in the world at one thing, but in a complex, networked future, victory belongs not to the one who digs deepest, but to the one who builds the bridges fastest. Specialization is for insects, Robert Heinlein once said. Your versatility is not a character defect. It is a highly adaptive response of your nervous system to a world spinning faster than ever before. Stop apologizing for your graveyard of hobbies. These started projects weren't failures. They were research trips in the university of your own personality. You are not unfocused. You are multidimensional. You are the generalist who sees the specialist's blind spots. Your task is not to squeeze yourself into a box, but to connect the boxes whose existence others don't even know about.
Owl, I get it now. I don't have to choose. I just have to structure. I'm not a failure. I'm a dot connector in training.
Exactly, Hootie. Stop chasing new beginnings and start finishing chapters. Your M-shaped mind is your greatest asset in a world that no longer needs specialists but bridge builders.
And what about you? Are you scanners too? Which 2 pillars will you combine first?
And if you want to learn how to sharpen your focus without killing your curiosity, then leave a subscription. It's the first step to building your pillars of knowledge firmly.
Stay curious, stay M-shaped. See you in the next deep dive.